And we're an Army football practice. Have a chance to talk with Army offensive coordinator Cody Worley. Cody, how do you feel a couple of days before your home opener? Do you feel ready to go?
Well, I'm finally excited this game week, and I know our guys are really excited this game week. Having the opportunity to play in Mikey Stadium is huge. Finishing our last scrimmage, there's some things that thought we did well, but some things that we really needed to clean up, which I think we started that process today. We're really excited to have the opportunity to get in Mikey Stadium and open this season.
And how do you feel your offense? Is it installed the way you wanted it? Has it changed? Did you make some changes, find new things during the summer camp?
Yeah, I think it's really come along and evolved over time since spring, and really fine-tuning the things that, fit and the things that we can do to be successful. And each game plan changes from week to week. That's pretty common in college football, but I'm really excited about our package. I'm excited of how we've grasped those things, limiting missed assignments and those things is evident the closer we get to game time. So I'm excited about that, but there's always room to build and things that we can continue to get better at in terms of the package and things that can help us down the road. I'm excited where things are right now.
And just watching the scrimmages, you've got a number of backs who are accelerating with the ball, running, making plays. As you know, Short, Samari Howard, of course, Kanye Udo, and Jake Rendina. David Clark's made a whole bunch of plays in the preseason. And Bryson Davis is in kind of his own category in what he's been doing so far. How do you feel about the running backs that you have and as you start the season?
I think we have a chance to have a really dynamic group. We're young in some spots, like some of those slots. Noah obviously played last year, but some new faces that have really gotten better and continue to get better. David Clark, Trey Benson, Samari Howard. Those guys are coming into their sophomore year and coming into their own and have really gotten better from week to week. And then the veteran group, Miles Stewart, Hayden Reed, Kanye Udo coming back, Jake Rendina coming back. And then Hayden Reed having the flexibility to do a lot of different things. You'll see him at multiple positions, which he's a really good football player and he can handle that. But I'm really excited about the group as a whole. And like always, we got a lot of room to work and continue to get better. And everybody has a specific skill set that they're continuing to hone in so they can become a complete back. But I'm really excited about the group as a whole.
And just a final question about your offensive line. You've got experience, but it starts with Brady Small, the sophomore, had such a phenomenal year last year. But when you see him on the field, he doesn't look like a sophomore. He looks like a true veteran. And Lucas Scott, Bill Katsianis, and then I think Connor Finucane back. You've got a lot of experience in your offensive line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that group is coming together. You look at the rotation and you look at who the best five are. And the good thing is we have options. There's guys like Paulo Generali, really good football player and is coming into his own. Guys like that you mentioned, Connor Finucane coming back, guys like Booby Law, Brady, Bill Katsianis. But even young guys like Henry Appleton in the fold. But, that group is in the leadership of Lucas Scott, the leadership that Connor Finucane brings back in that room. And he's done a phenomenal job embracing his new role and coming back and really just being a steady guy. And I'm really excited to have him back. But I think the sky's the limit with that group. And they'll continue to get better. Each week they've continued to get better. But I'm really excited about them as a whole and excited about their future.
Thanks, Coach.
Absolutely.
Hey, Coach Worley, Joe Icono with GoBlackKnights.com. Talking about growth and areas for improvement, what do you think is maybe the number one thing that you'd like to see your offense improve both Friday night at your first game and then kind of really focus on continually throughout the season to really get to where they need to be?
I think the biggest things, especially things that I lose sleep over in first game, is ball security, playing clean, avoiding pre-snap penalties. Those crept in the other night in the scrimmage. Anytime you go behind the chains and it's 1st and 15, 2nd and 15, that's hard to overcome. So really challenging guys, pre-snap penalties, being focused, protecting the football and playing our brand of football. in a lot of ways being risky, not reckless, but really being smart with how we make decisions, and especially at the quarterback position, and guys, anybody who has an opportunity to touch the football, being smart in ball security. But I think every coach is probably on the same page going into a first game. That's stuff I lose sleep over, contacts and being able to protect the football, and really just eliminating some of the pre-snap stuff that we can control. If we can control the things we can control, I think we'll have an opportunity to play clean and be competitive week to week. If we don't, and we shoot ourselves in the foot, we're not going to have a shot. So those are the things that I really hone in on, and things that we really got to continue to get better in those facets, so we can control what we can control, and eliminate some of the mistakes. It's hard enough to play the opponent, and the opponents that we're going to play, but we can't have Army beating Army.
Absolutely. And what or who would you say has been kind of the most pleasant surprise of the last 4 weeks for you as an offensive coordinator?
That's probably a tough one. Guys that stand out, I think, and we mentioned them, but some of those slots, Samari Howard has really stood out in a lot of areas. He's a gritty kid. I recruited him from Temple, Texas. He gives us flexibility. He's physical. He hit 22 on the GPS the other day. We track all that technology, but he's made plays in the pass game. He's made plays in the run game. He's good at the point of attack. But he's shown up and done some really good things. I'm excited about him. The wide receiver core as a group has really shown up every practice, not only in the pass game, but also in the run game. Liam Fortner, Casey Reynolds, Toby Alawale, Cam Scher, even Kayvon Porter, KP, all those guys in some form of fashion have shown up as a playmaker and at the point of attack, blocking, which is really positive. And then, some of the young quarterbacks, we've seen Ethan Washington, we've seen Dwayne Coleman come in, we've seen Kel Helms, but there's a lot of players that I'm excited about. Parker Pulaski at tight end, I think has a chance to be a really good football player as a young kid. But in the offensive line, we mentioned before, Paulo Generale, some of those young guys stepping in, Henry Appleton. So in some regard, each position, for long story short, has shown up in scrimmages and live setting, in live one-on-ones versus our defense, or any competition phase. Some group has shown up in some capacity. So that's been a positive. And then,
Going to kind of your other duty as quarterback coach, you've had the opportunity at West Point to coach Christian Anderson, Tyler Tyler, Kate Ballard, a number of other quarterbacks. Kind of Bryson Daly, he's super unique, right? In a lot of ways, he's a power runner. Good job running the option. Tough to bring down. Tough kid. Really smart. Talk a little bit about Bryson and what he brings your offense.
I mean, with his skill set, I think he's got a chance to be one of the best that Army has seen, just totality. He's tough. He's smart. He's a great leader. He loves football. And he's one of those guys that's never satisfied. I mean, you look at him after practice, even after a practice like today, he's out there throwing routes with Casey Reynolds and Tyrell Robinson and getting extra mesh work with Kanye and Jake. And he loves football and he wants to be great, and he's going to continue to work at it. And that's something that I really appreciate. He's going to work really, really hard. He's going to maximize his potential. But we saw a lot last year of what he can be. But in every facet of his game, he's improved. Every facet of his game through the spring, through the summer, he has improved. So I'm excited to see what he does this season. Excited to see him on Friday night, but I'm really proud of him, and I know he'll continue to work. He always has a chip on his shoulder, and that's what you got to be like that around here, and he's special.
Thanks, Coach.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hey, Cody. Ken McMillan from Times Herald Record.
Hey, Ken. How are you?
Good, thank you. Cody, your thoughts on Lehigh? What do you know about their defense? What are you looking for?
Yeah, so I'm an FCS guy. I played at Furman University. I coached at the FCS level at Kennesaw State and the Citadel. So I have experience with the FCS world. and just, watching them and what this game means to them and how we're preparing our team. I think, people look at the FCS and the FBS matchups. I've never looked at it any different than an opportunity to play and win a football game. And that's the truth, because I've been on the other side. I've been on an FCS program that has beaten FBS teams. I've seen what that looks like. You watch a team like Montana State, beat a New Mexico this past weekend. It happens every year. Okay. So we're not taking anything lightly. I think they have a talented defense. They got some guys coming back, linebacker and safety, who I think are two really good players returning back for them that are going to be on the Patriot League All-Conference team. Some guys up front, and they play an even front, they play a 4 down, which we're not really accustomed to. We get some of that out of our defense, but having a transition to some even front stuff, and they're multiple and they can do different things. So I think we've got to continue to hone in on the game plan, just moving forward with them. But they've got some really talented players, and it's not just Patriot League players. They've got some good football players for sure that are talented.
How comfortable are you going into the opener for an opener? I mean, I know you're going to get more comfortable as the year goes on, but you feel good heading into this as far as being prepped?
I do, and we've had you never feel completely like we've got it and we've arrived. But we've been practicing a lot of the game plan for multiple weeks now. That was one of the things of having a longer camp. It allowed us to really get ahead in a lot of aspects, not just Lehigh, but a lot of different things that we could throw at them over the course of a camp. But I feel comfortable where we are right now, with the game plan, with things that we got to continue to hone in on this week. But a lot of the things that we did today, we've done multiple times over the course of the last 3 weeks, and really just continuing to get reps, piecemeal everything together, continue to correct the mistakes that we made today and build into tomorrow. But I'm confident enough where we are right now, but we still have a lot of work to do, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Obviously, a lot of talk is on Bryson starting, but can you give us a little taste of the backup race? How's Dwayne and Cole, Mr. Helms and Ethan Washington coming on?
Yeah, Dwayne Coleman's doing a great job. He's been steady Eddie. Every opportunity he's had in interactions and scrimmages, he's made plays. And he's doing a better job of operating. He's a guy that I trust. The mental part of the game is really slowed down for him. And he always has an opportunity. He can make splash plays. He can execute the offense. So I'm pleased with him. I think the most improved player in the room from spring until now is Kel Helms. And obviously a guy like Ethan Washington, you saw some of him in fall camp. Didn't have him in the spring. He's a freshman, but really excited about him. Really excited about really both of those guys. Ethan is way ahead of probably any freshman that I've coached, to be honest, since I've been here. So, he's got a lot of work to do, but he's a really talented kid, and I'm really excited about his future. So, I feel really good about the room. There's guys that I can trust, guys that can do some good things, and guys that continue to push and get better every day.
Last thing for you, Cody. Obviously, you've been around the team for a long time. You had the opportunity to be OC last year, but is there a different feel? This is your job. This is your debut on Friday. Do you feel a little bit more tension, nerves, anxiety, happiness? What?
I think obviously it means a lot. So, if you're not nervous before a game in the right way, something's probably wrong with you. But, once we get to kickoff and you have the opportunity to kind of settle in, I think, those things, you get into game mode and you get into calling plays and you get in the comfort zone, and, correcting mistakes and getting through things. I'm excited for the opportunity. And luckily, you're right. It's my first year as offensive coordinator, but I'm in a fortunate position. I've actually called games before. So I've called 2 games before, so it won't be the first time that I've called a game. So there's some responsibility and things that I know what to expect and things that I, continue to progress and get better at. But I'm excited for the opportunity, and we'll be ready.
Thanks, Cody.
Yeah, thanks, Ken.
Hey, Cody, it's Sal from Black Knight Nation. Hope you're doing well.
Hey, Sal, how are you, man?
I'm good. Just one question on your vision of this offense. Do you see this offense being the grinding the clock type of offense, or do you think there's some chunk plays in the offense with the talent that you have?
I think the goal is always to be efficient and explosive. And sometimes efficient means 12-play drive and explosive means 1-play drive. So there's room for both. And I think we have enough talent at certain spots, and then a system that you can be both efficient and explosive. And that's what we would like to be. So creating explosion plays, there's a lot of different ways that those things can be produced. Whether it's perimeter, whether it's in the pass game, whether it's interior run game, whether it's quarterback run game, whether it's option game. So, to say that we're going to be one or the other, I hope we have elements of both, to be honest with you, Sal. I hope we can do both, but we'll do whatever it takes. And whatever that looks like, any given drive, any given opponent, certain game plans, we'll do whatever it takes. But we've got to take care of the football, be efficient, and be explosive. If we score in 1 play, that's okay. If we score in 15, that's okay.
Absolutely. Appreciate it. Good luck on Friday.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man.
Hey, Robin.
Coach, one more question.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Are you going to work from the press box or the field?
Right now, I'm in the press box.
In the press box.
Yeah. Well, we have iPads now. So it's a completely new dimension to college football. And we have the helmet communication. So those two elements have really changed a lot. Instant feedback of being able to watch the film on an iPad. We've never had that until this year. And then having the opportunity to talk to the quarterback through the helmet comm. Those are things that we've practiced and that we've done. So it allows you to be way more flexible. So right now, game 1, my plan is to be in the box. But those things kind of give you flexibility where you could do both.
Thanks, Coach.